afternoon, YouTube. It's Thunda and back at it again, guys. What is up? I am going to tell you guys, it is oppressively hot today. 95 degrees here in Delaware. And with that heat index, man, 101 degrees, guys. I am absolutely sweating my brains out just standing here, even with this thin UV shirt on. Today, guys, I'm not coming out for the big old bass. I'm just coming out just to see if this lure that I picked up will work. I personally think it's a novelty because I'd never seen anything like it before, but I would like to at least try it, and if it does produce, then maybe I'll continue using it. But if not, at least I get a healthy review and you guys can take a look and you can make up your own minds on what you want to do with this thing. But I'm curious to see if I actually get bites off of it. It comes in multi-colors. The one I mainly picked out was going to be a white color. It is known as the skimmer. I'm sure as soon as you hear that, guys, you know it's the Lunkerhunt Dragonfly. That's what we're going to use today. So I'm going to tie this thing on right here, and I'm going to try to give my best review on how this thing works in this little pond right here. Like I said, the main thing I'm looking for is just the strike. Big, small, medium, I don't care what kind of bass it is. As long as it can entice a bite, that's what I want to keep in my box. If it doesn't, it just goes and gets hung up and just be a nice little eyepiece and conversational piece, obviously. So I'm going to walk to my car, tie this on, and let's see what kind of luck we get, guys. All right, guys, so here we are on this little pond right here. Like I said, we're going to test out the Dragonfly by Lunkerhunt. Guys, we got all kinds of crazy things going on right here. Man, obviously you see a bunch of lily pads that are around here. You've got your hydrilla that's right here in front and back of the pads. And I think if we go back in the back over here, there's grass popping out around that little bend here. So it's kind of almost like the kidney bean that we go to, upper state in Delaware, but a smaller version. But I know there's bass in here. I've been here plenty of times just to mess around. Again, there's some decent sized ones in here, but a lot of dinks. But again, the premise of this is to see if bass will hit this bait. So give me a second. I'm going to see how firm the ground is in this water so I can step in there with my duck boots and get a little close to these pads so I'm not casting as far over this foliage over here to get my bait out to where it needs to be. So give me 2 seconds. So guys, when you got duck boots on and everything else, don't think you're all impervious and willy-dilly and you can just do whatever you want when you're walking into this water. Because I learned the hard way when I was at the pond across here. I stepped in one area thinking it was strong and firm, and as soon as I put my foot in there, I went knee-deep into the mud, man. So you don't know how firm it is until you try to test it out. Right now, so far, we're good right here. So I'm just working my way nice and slow and making sure I'm on some firm ground. I almost fell into a hole here, guys. And again, you don't know where the holes are at, so you just got to be careful. And like I said, I can already see it's deep over here, and I'm sliding. So I'm going to stay firm right here, and hopefully I can get enough distance to get over here in these pads. Did you see that, guys? That was a bass that just literally jumped out of the water. All right, we're back. We had a small backlash as soon as I started, guys. I must have had one under when I rolled the spool up from earlier yesterday. But we're back on track. Let's get this thing going. Again, it's just like jigging a frog, guys. Just skipping across the water, just stop, let it pause, and let those arms flare out and let the fish see that. So when you get this thing in a package, guys, obviously you get the Dragonfly bait, which is this white plastic bait. And it's got, you know, the appendages that are on it, which is, you know, normally like what you see on your buzz baits and spinner baits and everything else, but it's impregnated into the plastic. And it comes with a 4/0 hook. And it hooks just like you're hooking your regular old Senkos or Texas rigs or whatever you want to do. And just put it through the head, twist it around, and put it right in a little gap that's provided for you. One thing I did notice here, this does not have the same texture as your normal worms are to the feel. This has got a little bit more thicker feel to it. I'm trying to... Remember when you were a kid and you were playing jacks and marbles and you squeezed the rubber ball? That's kind of what that feeling is of this particular bait. This thing is so light that when you press the button, it doesn't even come down, guys. But we're going to go with sharp jigs right now, guys. Just to get the water moving and get some vibration so that it attracts these fish into it. All right, let's cast to our right-hand side. Every once in a while, guys, you want to move your boots because you do sink into this water, and it's easy for your boot to get pulled off as soon as you lift your leg up. Oop, way out of line, guys. Hold on. Let's get that back in here. But again, you can see how light it is and how easy it carries. There is a slight breeze that's blowing around here. Right there, guys. See it? There's a nice little boil right in the middle of the pond. So it tells me these fish are going after whatever is hitting that water. Come on. Oh, there's a swirl right behind me, guys. Come on. What could be more enticing than a dragonfly sitting in the water? See the dragonflies right in front of us? Come on. I'm going to try to cast in this gap over to the left-hand side of us, guys. There we go. I could barely see this bait. All right, a couple more casts, guys. We're going to move our way to the sides. Ooh. There's a little rough cast there, but we'll work it. Come on, fish, hit it. Man, this heat is really beating down on my back, guys. You don't even know. We'll bring this retrieve in here, guys. We'll walk over to here, to the sides, and cast across. So far, nothing hitting on this bait yet. Actually, I'm going to throw one more cast over here. Trying to make a little bit of commotion, a little noise with it, guys. Come on. All right, let's make our way over to the right-hand side. All right, guys, hopefully the owner doesn't come out on us, man. Most of the times I come over here, as long as I'm standing along this edge right here, they don't tend to bother me at all. But, we're gonna try to cast across the width of this pond here. Just gotta find a proper place to be at. Again, just being ever so careful stepping into where you're trying to walk in, since it's not firm ground. And I got a feeling I'm gonna be standing right here. If you look along here, man, this water's pretty low right now. And when that water goes low and that stagnant ground comes exposed, whew, it doesn't stink. So far, I'm kind of not liking this bait right now because the eyelet where you put your line in and everything keeps popping out, and it keeps getting caught in the lily pads and everything else. But I like the way it skims across the water, and how the appendages go out to the side. But again, we're just not getting any bites right now. Again, it's not the most greatest time to be fishing right now. It's just about 3 o'clock, so the sun's still kind of high and shining down and beating hard. But should be able to at least get 1 fish or 2 at the most, even with the cover that I'm throwing on. See, here's what I'm talking about, guys. I'm barely touching the pads, and it's coming out and just getting all discombobulated. The one good thing is it's not ripping the head up like you normally would when you have your plastics. You always get that shred going on. The plastic is tough enough they can just pull it right back in here and just tuck it right back in. But we're going to try to re-rig this again and get it out there. Almost like every other cast, guys, I'm having an issue with this thing. If we get a fish, that'll be a modern miracle. We got a fish right here, guys. There you go. Got one already. Nice. It works. All right, guys. As soon as it hit the water, it struck. Look there. Got one on the Dragonfly, guys. But again, they like it. I literally threw right against those pads, right against them. And it must have, as I was talking, it must have just picked it up and took it right on the water because I felt my line getting really tight. And I set it. Great job. Thank you, Mr. Bass. I appreciate it. Let's see if we can get another one. There she gone. All right, guys. Your eyes aren't deceiving you. I literally am laying down on the ground right now. And there's a reason. As I told you at the beginning, it is oppressively hot. And you got to know when your body's telling you not to do something. And that's exactly what happened here. Well over 100 degrees, guys, and the heat was beating down on me. And my body's literally saying, look, stop. You're going too far with yourself. You got to get hydrated. Guys, I cannot tell you how much, you see it all the time in the news, that you have to stay hydrated or stay in a cool place when it comes to a heat wave. Right now, we are in a mini heat wave here in Delaware because we're going to have more than 3 days worth of 90-degree weather. That's what constitutes a heat wave here in our area. But I could just feel I was getting crampy and getting kind of almost lightheaded and everything. And I just decided to stop. I came over here under these trees where the breeze is blowing, and it's cooler, way cooler, at least 15 degrees. I can feel it, completely feel the difference. You can see how red my face is, guys. Heat strokes aren't a joke, guys. You can die from it. So please be careful. Make sure you're hydrating. Enough of the PSA. So my review is on the Lunkerhunt Dragonfly, guys. Like I said, I kind of thought this was probably going to be a novelty thing, and that's what I'm leaning to on this particular bait right now. I picked the skimmer, which is the white version of the Lunkerhunt Dragonfly, thinking that this might have a better response than the cheesy red or the red, black and blue. I thought this would be the one. I went all natural. I do any adjustments to it and everything. I didn't cut this. This is what was lost when I was fishing today, so I want you to, if somebody's seen that, they're gonna like, why did you do that? I didn't do that. They were just lost. We'll get to that. So I didn't do any coloration here on the abdomen of this fish, or excuse me, of this dragonfly at all. I wanted to make sure that if I'm gonna get a strike, it's gonna be an honest strike on no adjustments to the bait whatsoever. So I got a couple pluses on this and a few negatives. I'm gonna start with the pluses right now. It's very strong. I don't know if you guys use a lot of plastics. I know I do. I know other people that do, that just like going on the plastics and everything, and they try to use it in as much as possible and try to make it last as long as possible. And you know, fish just destroy it, man. They rip those baits all apart, and you wonder why they come in the packs of 8 and 10 and 12. That's the reason why, is because they're weak to plastics. Not to say that they're good baits, it's just the material that it's made out of. This right here, very, very strong, guys. I could pick one end of this bait and take this other end and stretch it. That's how strong this thing is. So if a fish gets a hold of this, chances are it's not going to rip away. I mean, the bait's going to stay whole. That's a positive. The other positive right now is I like the way it came across the water. It laid flat like it's supposed to. It's like a frog. It's just going to sit right there. And then the appendages, as it is sitting in the water, when you're pulling on it, you know the appendages are going to come to the side. But when you stop it, the appendages move really, really slow and come to the side like the wings of a dragonfly. It's not like a real quick motion, but enough of slow motion that the fish gets their attention grabbed by that motion and gives them a chance to try to jump up on that bait. Those are the only two pluses I have right now. Here's the negatives that I have on this, guys. Obviously the fronds, or excuse me, the appendages do pull off. So you can see one side just is gone. That's not a good thing, guys. You want to make sure these things last as good as possible. Maybe it's just me and the way I was fishing. I don't know if everybody else is having that issue, but that's the issue that I was having. The second issue, guys, is as you heard earlier in my video, when you go to fix your bait and the hook's kind of discombobulated, I don't know if you noticed or not, but when I was pulling that, you see it right here? Right on the barb, right there? That sticks. On normal plastic, that wouldn't happen. That looks like basically gum getting stuck on your barb. And that's not a good thing, guys. I was playing like heck just to get that out of there to reset the hook. So that's another drawback on that. The other one is the eyelet comes right through here. You really can't throw this thing in the cover. I was trying to throw in the pads and everything else, and that eyelet kept getting caught all the time. And when it pulls on that, then the hook gets exposed, and now your hook's caught in the stalk of the pad or the leaf. That's a no-no. I don't want that. I want that thing to come through just like a frog comes through, because that's what I was trying to base this off of, as if it's a frog, because it was coming through. It floats just like a frog, and it acts like a frog. It's just in a different formation, like a dragonfly. So that was a negative for me. It took a lot of casts, guys, maybe over 100 before this finally split. That's another plus I was telling you about. That head right here lasts a long time. You know, using plastics, guys, it only takes about 5 or 6 times and that head just gets mangled and destroyed. Here, you got a long time for that lasting before it finally fails on you after putting that hook in through a few times. The consistency, guys, as I said earlier, I'm sure you remember when you were playing jacks as a kid, you had that rubber ball and that feel when you squish the ball and everything else. That's the actual texture of this plastic bait. That's why I say it. That's why it lasts strong. Those rubber balls, man, you see, they last forever, man. They don't fall apart, man. I kind of feel this is going to be the same way with this bait right here. Lots of bluegills hit on this thing, guys. I'm not here to catch bluegills. I'm here to catch bass. And I just did not get blow-ups. I didn't get anything following it. Maybe that one swirl that was over in the back end of there, but nothing major, guys. So again, it's probably the time of day that came out. It was 3 o'clock. The sun's still reasonably high. That could be it. Maybe day, or excuse me, a morning or evening might be a different response. I don't know, but I'm going to be very suspicious if that's the case with this here. But if you want to go out and buy this, that's up to you, guys. If you want to try it out in your area, maybe it might work. But right here, just where I'm at right now, it just wasn't doing anything at all. So this is going to be something I just, you know, put away. And, you know, if somebody asks me about it, I'm going to talk to them and tell them what it's all about. But I'm not sold on this thing right here. Now, the Lunkerhunt Prop Frog, no doubt I'm going to be using that thing, man, because that thing is going to be a beast when I do that full review. I don't think there's anything else other that I need to tell you about. I would try to go to, I had 12-pound test. That I really don't think that made a difference. I mean, I was trying to come through structure and everything else, but if you have open water and everything else, you probably could go with a lighter weight monofilament line. I wouldn't go throwing this with braid or anything else, because the braid's gonna be way heavier than this, and it's just not gonna throw right, in my opinion. But again, if you go with a lighter line, you probably get a little more distance if you have to cast over pads like I was trying to do today. But I should have had something. I had a lot of laydowns. Like I said, I had the hydrilla, I had the algae, and nothing was just rising up out of that. And like I said, the main drawback is it's very light. You want something that's got some weight to create some good vibration so that fish feels that and comes up after it. And that's probably half the reason why we didn't get those strikes on top of that cover we were trying to come across. So that's my 2 cents on a review right here, guys. I hope you're having an awesome weekend. I'm going to try to get out one more time tomorrow, depending on the heat. As always, guys, catch them big ones. Let me see what you got going on. And as always, I'm going to try to do my best to catch the big ones. And like Oakster and I say, fish on. Side note, guys, you haven't seen Oakster as of late. His kid is out of school, so you're going to see him few and far between right now, but I will try my best to make sure that he is on an episode with us. So don't think he's just going anywhere or something's going wrong or whatever. He's a family man, and he takes care of his family, which is what he's supposed to do. My kids are in Florida with their mom, and I got all this free time. So what do you think I'm going to be doing? Fishing, guys.